Today I am going to show you a game-changing technique that will speed up your workflow immediately and will also unlock more creativity for you to work on your projects. It's all about creating a starting template in Ableton. Think of it like a blank canvas of a pro painter, like Picasso back in the good old days. It's like you have your paintbrushes ready, you have your color palette ready, you have everything ready, all the tools you need at your service so you can start creating immediately. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's a one-time effort, but trust me, on the long run you will save hours and it'll be worth it. No more wasting time setting up instruments, no more wasting time making effects. You know the drill, just open up Ableton and get your inspiration going. If you stick around till the end, I will also show you a secret technique that I use in my projects that might help you in your productions yourself. Don't forget to subscribe as it really helps a ton. And also you can find everything I used in this project on my Patreon down below. So if I open up Ableton, this is what I see. So this is my start template, my canvas to get everything going to become the next Picasso. So at the top you see here I have my arrangement, basic structure ordered in sections. This is what I find the most common tech house / house thing to do. So if you have your 8-bar loop ready to get arranged, this is a good starting point. I do need to mention that this isn't always the case for my tracks also, because there are actually no rules in music, but this gets me going. I can feel out the vibe. If the build-up needs to be longer, I can just add it with the Command I. Another one, if I want it 16 bars longer, Command I, or if I want it shorter, Command Shift and backspace. This is set up so I can move along nicely with the track arrangement, but it's definitely not something you have to one-on-one copy, as every track is different. The referencing I am going to save for the last, but on to our low end. On here I have my standard multi-band compression. It's not activated as I don't always want to use it. And I also have a standard EQ and utility already on the low end bus ready to use, but they are currently not doing anything. The same goes for the kick bus. On here I have my EQ and utility, and also here I have a low cut which is not activated yet. But in case I want to cut the low end from my kicks, or I want to cut the low end from anything from the kick bus, I can do so easily and create an automation. And so I don't need to drag the EQ in there. I don't need to make it a 4 times pass or a normal pass. It's just there to use, and yeah, easy to set up your automations like this, but it's there. And yeah. In the kick bus we have a test kick. This is a MIDI where I can drag, for example, let me do this real quick. If I want to drag in a kick sample. This is my Midi bus for my kicks, so I can easily swap them out if I'm listening to the kick drum and if I like it or not. With the double click feature I can easily add these kicks in there and scroll through them and look if I find something. Maybe I don't start off with the kick on my track, so I can swap them out and feel the vibe of the groove that is maybe already there. But yeah, I start off with a MIDI, and on here I also have my EQs and utility. I also have an audio channel for the kick in case I want to bounce it to audio, or in case I want to feel it out with the audio and see the length of the kick. Although I use Shaperbox for that on my bass bus with the Ghost activated, with the Ghost MIDI activated. But if I prefer for a track that I want to work in audio, therefore the kick audio channel is there. Onwards to the bass bus. On here I also have the same EQ and utility as the kick bus, but on here I also have some compression and saturation, not activated yet, but it's there to quick access it on the bass bus, as if I put in a sub and a mid and I want to glue them a bit together, it's already there. I don't need to go here to my search bar, I need to search for compression, or it's just already there and ready to use. Onwards to the sub. In the sub we already have our serum loaded up. There are no presets, it's just the init one, because we still want our creativity at maximum, because if I put a bass preset in here, I maybe wanna use that bass preset for the first draft of a bass, and that I want to avoid because I want the full creativity. Not everything needs to be filled in already in the starting template. And the same goes for the mid bass. These two are the same. But yeah, that's it for the low end. We also have the harmonies here. Same thing, EQ and utility. And also we have a MIDI channel with an init serum preset on there to get it going, because I will most of the times use serum for all my stuff. But that's not always the case. Always try and experiment with new things. That's how you create the most refreshing tracks. And also on the harmonies bus, I have an audio channel that is already predefined with the EQ and utility as all the others, in case I want to put a splice sample on there and get it going like that. Onwards to the drums. I also have the drums separated in different buses. We have our main drums, which include the hi-hat, and the offbeat hi-hat is, for me, at least for my genre, always an offbeat hi-hat. So I already created a MIDI with every offbeat hit on there. No instrument yet, it's just already a MIDI that, yeah, it's just always on the offbeat hat. Of course you can play around with little hits in between, but that's something to do on a later phase, just to get the groove going and instantly vibe to something. The 4 to the floor kick, hat and clap, as you see, is already filled in with a MIDI, but not with a sample. So this way I improve my workflow, because I don't need to create a new MIDI pattern. I don't need to put all the claps on the 1.2 and the 1.4 and so on. I don't need to put the hi-hat on every offbeat. So it's already there, easy to use, quick access to put in a sample and get it going. On the bus of the main drums, I also have 2 auto filters, a low cut and a high cut, ready for use but not activated yet. I just want to filter them down or filter them up. It's ready to use. I don't need to search again for the auto filter, put it on low pass mode or high pass mode. It's already there to use, not turned on at least. Onwards to the perc bus, the same thing, and the auto filters are on there, the EQs are on there, ready to use. But on the perc bus, I'm here with audio, so there's no predefined MIDI, because I don't think there is a standard way to put percussion in your tracks as there is for the hi-hats and the claps, because these are certain things. For my genre at least. I know for Afro House, for example, the claps are not your typical one-hit claps on the kicks, and they are more like different kind of pattern. But yeah, so that's why I have an audio channel here, ready to fill it in with some samples, but no predefined rhythm. And then we have our top bus here, the same. We got the auto filters and everything needed to process it a little bit, but we have 2 loop placements here if I want to use any in my track. So yeah, on the group of the drums, I also have my standard that I have on every bus, and also the low cuts and the high cuts. And on the bus, I also have an endless smile, because yeah, I just use it for the builds or the breaks or transitioning effect on the drums. I like to use it, and I mostly use it in all my tracks, so it's on there. So I don't need to search for it. So that's basically it for the drums. Everything is ready to go as is. Then my snare build is something that's separate, and on here on the bus I have a vocoder, because there is a nice effect. Maybe I can show you quickly. Why not? Let's put a snare on there. For example, I have my snare here, also the standard EQ utility, and why I use the vocoder. For example, if I build it out, It's a nice effect that I like on my snare builds. It adds the extra touch, but I don't always want to use it because it can be pretty taking away from the snare transit and the hits. So it depends on the track, but it's on there because I like to use it on the snares. So yeah, I keep it on there always on my start template as well. And then onward, yeah, we have the standard things again, the EQ and utility ready to be used, also for the filters. Onwards to the vocal, this is always the same. I have my EQ and utility ready, so I think that's something that every channel, every bus can use, an EQ and a utility. Not always to use, but always be prepared to be used. Is that the right words to say that? But anyways, it's always on there, EQ and utility, in case I need it, in case I want to automate it. And for the vocals, again, just an audio channel. Onwards to the FX, and that is the same. Audio channel and a bus, but on here I do not have my effects like I have on my drums. Maybe I can put them on there, yeah, why not? Building the template with you guys now on the FX bus. So yeah, let's put it on there. And Endless Smile can be nice on the FX too, and maybe on the vocals too, why not? Put it on there together with the filters. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all the channels. These are the basic type of things I will always use in my songs. Yeah, things I also use are send channels. These are setup, a small reverb, a large reverb, short delay and a long delay. These are just there, but I mostly use these in the mixing stage of a track, so not in the beginning creative phase of the track. They are also there to be used quickly if needed. And then onwards to the mastering bus, I just have my Uline loudest on there. I have a span on there, for example, this is the span, the kick we put in there. And I have a millimeters on there, but I think my OBS isn't set up nicely, so you can't see the millimeters overlay. But that's just basically a waveform plugin that shows you the waveform. I will put a link down below for the millimeters plugin so you can check it out. And anything else on there? No, but we still have our secret setup with the reference. So I have my reference setup that it does not, for example, let's take a track of mine and put it in here. So I have my reference track, so I can quickly switch with pressing 1, and this is, and now press 1 again, then it's back to the normal track. Press 1, back to the normal track. So this is very easy and nice to have if you are referencing a track, if you want to get the drum volumes right, or the anything volume based right from the start, or in your mixing process can be too. But I have my reference bus here. It's not routed to the master chain, but it's routed to the external output. So I have the sound in my headphones, and I also route it with a Voxengo span. Here you can see the blue is my track, and the green is the kick we just put in the template. But everything is in there. My workflow gets improved a lot by using this, and it really helps a ton with starting off in a project, not looking at a completely blank canvas, but having all the tools in there to start creating your track in a faster tempo, I would say, because I have my MIDI setup for the basic drums. These are little things that can take time if you add them all up. It's just something to improve your workflow. So I can recommend anyone to start making your own template, or maybe you can download this template and change it as you please. A link is down below in my Patreon. And again, a big thanks for watching this video, and sorry that I didn't upload last week. I had a boiler room. I'm gonna put some footage on right now. Here we go! So yeah, the party was super lit, but I didn't have any time because I was preparing the set to record a video. So hope to see you guys again next week. Don't forget to subscribe Don't forget to like the video and also comment down below which videos you want to see in the future. It really inspires me to see you guys watching these videos and me creating these videos. I'm still in the beginning phase of it, but I really enjoy making these videos for you guys. So without further ado, enjoy the rest of your weekend or work week, and see you guys next time.